Hello and welcome to the Reasons I'm Broke podcast, bringing you the reasons we're broke, ranging from comic books, movies, TV, video games, and more. I'm Kelly.
And I'm Daniel.
And we are part of the Nerd Up Media Network. You can head over to nerdupmedia.com. You can not only find everywhere we are, iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, but you can also check out our sister podcasts as well.
Yeah, if you're one of the new listeners that found us through nerdupmedia.com, welcome to The Reasons I'm Broke. The way the format goes is we cover some news ranging from comics, movies, TV, video games, and more, and we finally jump into our comic book reading list. Our list mainly comprises of DC Comics, but we do have some indie, and every now and again we do have some Marvel books thrown in there. But first we're going to go ahead and say that this show has been brought to you by Hero Crate. You can head on over to HeroCrate.com, check out a lot of their awesome stuff. It's a subscription service, but we're going to go full-on details with Hero Crate right before we jump into our comic book news.
And guys, we're sorry we didn't have a podcast for you last week. Dan and I were kind of getting married. It's kind of a pretty big and important event. Very stressful, a lot going on, so we apologize, but thank you guys for all the well wishes that we got through Twitter. And we're back again this week.
Yeah, it really means a lot to us. And with that, we're going to try to give you a damn good show. There's some San Diego Comic-Con news coming up. Mm-hmm. But first, we're going to start with our TV news, which is Legend of Korra has been pulled from Nickelodeon, pulled from television.
Yes. The remaining episodes will be available online. So I think we got through, 5 on TV?
Right around there.
And the rest they're putting up online only. You can check them out through Hulu or Nick.com. They're up in a variety of places. And speaking of which, if you haven't caught the first 5, they now have the first 3 up on Hulu.
That's actually where we caught up. We actually couldn't catch it on TV, which is probably one of the reasons why they moved it over to Nick.com only. Online only series. But the co-creator at Comic-Con, his name is Brian Konietzko, he did have this to say about the move. It definitely caught us by surprise, and it wasn't necessarily done in the smoothest way. That was upsetting to many of you and to us as well. So we're moving on over to digital. It's actually a plan that was in place earlier, and it changed course and then went back in a bit of a messy way. But thanks for sticking with us.
I don't think it's a terrible move. We watch everything through Hulu now anyway. There's just no time to actually catch these shows when they're on TV.
They were saying that their numbers were way better anyway when they were on Nick.com. And I definitely believe it, because that's where we caught it. Easy access. We can watch it whenever we want, instead of trying to catch it on TV during our busy schedule. Not everyone has a DVR, and I think more people have access to the internet than they do a DVR machine. So this is definitely the way to go with Legend of Korra. They're going to get the numbers they want. People are going to watch it. And we're pretty much guaranteed a book 4. Nothing yet on book 5. I don't see them doing a book 5 now that it's only online.
We'll see. I read another article where they were talking about how the numbers for the finale were through the roof on online. Like, just massive amounts of people watching the finale because it was online. So if they're getting those kind of numbers, I think now that they have it up online, they will get a lot more numbers and get to see those ratings that they're looking for.
And Jay Jordan on Twitter, JJordan584 asked, Legend of Korra is moving to digital only. Is this too soon or just the first step in the next gen of entertainment?
I don't know. Might be. I'd watch all my stuff online only. That's where I watch everything anyway. Hulu and Netflix.
With cable being as expensive as it is, for many of us, entertainment is Netflix or just Hulu, or in this case, Nick.com. So I'm going to go ahead and say that, yeah, it is going to be the next step to entertainment. It's going to move on to online. That, of course, means that prices are going to go up somewhere.
Right, but even if our Netflix went up another $15 a month, say we spent $30 a month on Netflix, to me that's still worth it compared to the $100 that I would spend on cable to get the same amount of things. And half the time when I sit down to watch TV with my dad on cable, he goes 100 channels and nothing to watch. I mean, that's the truth. You watch what you want to watch, and you're able to get that with Hulu and Netflix.
So at least Legend of Korra is not gone permanently. We're still going to get the next season, book 4, which would be it.
I'm still not liking book 3 that much, though. Just throwing that out there.
Book 2 was not that good. Book 1 was really good. And hopefully, I mean, I'm liking book 3. I do enjoy it. And I already like it a little bit more than book 2, but it's not even over yet. We're only 3 episodes in. So we'll see.
We got to see Old Man Zuko, though. I cried. I cried just a little bit. But moving on to some video game news. Super Smash Bros. Has revealed some more characters. First up from Fire Emblem, we have Robin. You can choose between the male and female characters. This is the character that you could customize. So me. Y'all get to play as me in Super Smash Bros. Awesome. Also from Fire Emblem, you have Lucina, who is my daughter in Fire Emblem. So you get to play as my daughter. And they also announced Captain Falcon.
People kept asking, where's Captain Falcon? And he finally arrived. He's been there. If you watch the cinematic, it's amazing.
Amazing.
Like, they had so much fun doing this reveal. Like, you can see that Nintendo really knew how to really play with their audience. Like at the very end when Chrom, if you haven't seen it, go on YouTube, check it out. It's a really good trailer. But Chrom joins, he's like knocked out at the very end of it.
And he's like, I'll join next time. And I cried. I had a tear because he's my husband too. So, you know.
And then the video shows up and it says, nope, today's that day. And it shows Chrom during a part of the Final Smash for Robin. So he may not be a playable character. There's a ton of Fire Emblem characters as it is. I would have liked to see Chrom instead of Ike. But they did need that like heavy character. I think Chrom would have been too much like Marth, which they're saying now Lucina is just a clone of Marth. Regardless, it's another character, another Fire Emblem character. We love the game on the 3DS. One of my favorite games on the 3DS, if not my favorite.
I'm playing through it for the third time right now.
It's so good. If you have a 3DS and you don't have Fire Emblem, buy this game.
There's a love story. You get to marry Chrom and have Lucina. Because that's the only love story possible. Please, find me one woman. Any women out there who played this game, tell me you didn't marry Chrom. Go ahead, just tell me. Because you're lying if you say you didn't. He's a prince. He's handsome. You fall in love because he sees you naked. I guess you look that good. I don't know.
You complain about those love stories, but the one in Fire Emblem where he just sees you naked, that's okay.
Yes, that was fine. Because he's like, well, we've both seen each other naked. I guess we should
we're hitched, yeah. And Dustin Nguyen on Facebook and Twitter, this is the comic book news that we're going to move into, slowly working in some of the San Diego Comic-Con that's going on right now. Let me go ahead and tell the listeners to keep in mind that we're recording this on Saturday night. So anything that gets announced tomorrow we'll cover on next week's episode, which is episode number 98. But for this one, Dustin Nguyen has been teasing a secret project.
Yes.
He told people it's not like Little Gotham 2 or Littler Gotham. Yes. It is instead Descender from Image Comics, due out March 2015.
This is written by Jeff Lemire with art by Dustin Nguyen. And Dustin said, Descender will explore one young robot's struggle to stay alive in a universe where all androids have been outlawed and bounty hunters lurk on every planet.
Premise sounds really good. We know the art's going to be awesome. Who's the writer? Jeff Lemire.
Awesome.
Who's doing Justice League United. We're picking up his book and we're really enjoying it.
Yep, I am so excited. Anything with Dustin's name on it, I will purchase because I'm one of those kind of fans. Sorry, guys. Dustin Nguyen is my weakness. I almost flew to San Diego Comic-Con because for the first 100 people at his booth, he was giving out free stuff for Descender.
Yeah.
Man, almost quit my job right there and flew. But, got bills to pay. Wedding bills to pay.
DC put up a picture of Lil Batman from the Little Gotham, and they said he's in line too for Dustin Nguyen, and they put him on the floor like in between two pairs of feet.
Awesome.
It's great. We can't wait for those figures to come out. But they did have some Eisner Awards that were given out.
Yes.
Tons for independent publishers. I think DC only won one for The Wake, and Marvel only won one for Hawkeye. But we're going to highlight 3 of the ones that we especially enjoyed because we love the creators, and for some of these we do read the books. If you want to start off with the first one.
I called this one last year. Remember what my pick of the year was last year?
I do.
This book. And now the people are just confirming what I already knew. Saga won the most awards this year with 3. First, Best Continuing Series, which I said. Second, Best Writer, which I already knew. And the third is for Best Painter/Multimedia Artist. Good job, Saga. Now the world is just recognizing your greatness.
They must not have read Batman, is what I'm thinking. Don't know what happened there.
But here's the thing. Saga has been consistent for how many issues now?
What bad Batman issue was there?
But I didn't say there was a bad one, but Saga continues to build on itself. There's never been an issue where I was like, the last one was better.
I wouldn't... Batman doesn't do that either,
You know
though.
what? You don't understand comic books, Dad.
they didn't choose the superhero books because heaven forbid that they choose Batman or Spider-Man or something and sully their reputation of the independent. It's just
Saga's
it's
great.
just like
Just leave Saga alone.
It's like the Oscars, part of the image, and whatever awards they give out, it does say a lot about the Eisners. And if they give it to a bunch of superhero books, there are going to be people out there that don't respect that as much because they think capes and cows, that's silly. This stuff, Saga, that kind of shit, sex criminals, while really, really good, you can't ignore the superheroes.
No, Saga's the best.
Apparently, Saga's the best.
Next
is Sex Criminals, who won Best New Series. Of course, the writers are Matt Fraction and Chip Zdarsky.
That is a great new series.
It is a really good series.
I agree with this 100% because we couldn't give it to Saga because it's not a new series anymore. But if they could have, they would have.
You're like, well, they took a break, so technically they're a newish series. They're going to debut as a new series at number 6.
And finally, from the 3 that we wanted to mention, Itty Bitty Hellboy won Best Publication for early readers up to age 7.
Yeah, congratulations to Art Baltazar and Franco. Love their podcast. Met them in person. They're great guys. Even on Twitter, they're always showing all the kinds of stuff that they do for the community right by their comic shop. Mm-hmm. So good for them. It couldn't have gone to a better pair of writers and artists.
Some more San Diego Comic-Con news. The Legendary Pictures panel announced Gajira 2 and the monsters we called Mothra and King Ghidorah.
So exciting.
Yes!
Like this is already going to be, we loved the first movie, the first Godzilla movie. This is already improving on that because it's not just brand new monsters that they made just for the movie. These are probably the two most iconic monsters. I don't know if Mothra or Mechagodzilla, they're both really, really close.
King Ghidorah.
But Mothra and King Ghidorah,
yes.
King Ghidorah being Godzilla's greatest villain. I think Mothra and Godzilla are going to team up, just like in the classic movies, to fight King Ghidorah.
I want King Ghidorah and Godzilla to team up.
Against Mothra? What's wrong with...
I don't like Mothra because there's like little singing girls involved.
I hope they better bring those back.
No, they better not. They'll probably have the song playing in the background somewhere. I know they'll have
like
that
a reference.
song. Yeah, like somebody will have the radio on and somebody turn off, be like, what is this shit?
But it still wakes up Mothra. And
yeah, probably.
That is very exciting.
That is. And it's cool because they hinted at them in the last movie and people are like, oh, they're just Easter eggs. But no, here they are.
Yep.
Yes!
So I'm thinking for the third movie, they can go ahead and straight up do Mechagodzilla.
As long as somebody goes, Gojira. Gojira.
Let them fight. Well, we can stop them. No, let them fight.
but we have the ability to save thousands. Let them fight.
Thank you, fake Ra's al Ghul. On to some comic book news that has been controversial for I don't know why. Whatever your opinion is, you can sound off on Twitter at Reasons I'm Broke. Let me know why I'm wrong. Maybe you too. I haven't actually heard your opinion on this yet. But we have a new Captain America. Happens to be the Falcon. Isaiah Bradley. Here you go. Brand new Captain America. The old one is actually aging. And from what I understand, he gets the super soldier serum taken out of him. Ooh. So that's why he loses his powers. The other change is that Thor is now a female. The hammer went to someone more worthy, so the old Thor is no longer Thor, no longer wields the power of Thor. So that's why she has the new title of Thor.
I think these are both smart moves. I do.
Well, it's bound to revitalize the series. People are talking about these two characters now, which is the main thing you want when you do changes like this. This is not the first time we've had a new Captain America. We've had Bucky in the past. And this is not the first time we've had a female Thor. I believe it was called Thor Girl. Mm-hmm. So this is not new. And it's also not the first Black Captain America either. If you ever read Red, White, and Black, I read it years ago. From what I remember, it was the story of how they did testing first on African Americans before they actually tested the super soldier serum on white soldiers. And they had a ton of failed subjects, except for the one. And he was the very first Captain America, and he was black. So it's not the first time there is a Black Captain America, and if it's going to be anyone else, Bucky's already done it. Who's next on that list? If not, he should have been before him, the Falcon.
Well, good for the Falcon. I think, like you said, we don't follow Marvel. I just saw him in the Captain America movie, and I thought he was a pretty cool character. He's got to have some cool lines. Meet up with Kel, drink some orange soda. I don't know.
Gail Simone loves the Falcon. Like, she goes on and on Twitter
good.
about how great the Falcon
Strong
is.
Strong female character, then.
There you go. You heard it. Gail Simone made it official. The Falcon is now female as well.
We have a black female Captain America.
Marvel's really pushing those boundaries.
As far as female Thor, we all know why they did it. We got new Batgirl and everybody just freaked out. And so they're like, oh, look, we have a girl too.
To be fair, these plans have been around since before the Batgirl thing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
They have been. But it is them trying to push diversity.
Right.
Here's something I want to talk about, because it's something that the listeners, I'm sure, are going to disagree with or agree with us. It's going to be both, because we have, a good variety of listeners on the show.
All two of them?
All two of them, one on each side. The sponsor's like, what? And I'm like, she's sort of kidding. No, but people are saying if they want to introduce diversity into comics, why don't they create brand new characters that are black or that are female instead of replacing the known characters? What is the problem with that?
People won't read them.
People will not buy them. People won't read them. Exactly. We see this all the time. The movement had one of the most diverse cast of superheroes that you will ever see in a comic book. And what happened to that? It got canceled. Well, why? DC's mean. No, look at those fucking sales. Look at the sales on that book. They were not that great. People did not support the book.
Green Team Teen Trillionaires. Great book. Canceled
as well, because it's not familiar characters. Oh, Batman's not in it. Spider-Man's not in it. So what do? Put the old role away for a while, because Steve Rogers is going to come back as Captain America. You're going to have the old Thor come back and take the power of Thor again. So let's have this ride here. Kind of like Grayson. He's a superhero for now, or a secret soldier, or secret agent. Jeez. I'm so worked up on this. And now he'll be back as Nightwing.
Of course. He can't be not whiny for that long.
Even though he's still whiny as a secret agent.
He'll come back like, he's got to be whiny in spandex.
So one of the things I hear the most are people saying this is just a cheap way for them to get sales while spitting in the face of the, quote, true fans.
No.
I see that online all the time. On Facebook when they announce this. What the fuck is a true fan is what I want to know. I have such a problem with this phrase. Because if a true fan is someone that knows more about the character than anyone else, someone's going to know more about Batman than we do. Someone's going to know more about Thor than you do. So are they the true fans and you're not? We're going to say, well, no, because I read the stories and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so then it's not the person who knows the most about the character.
You're so upset about this. He's getting his angry eyes.
Are you going to say, is it the person that enjoys the character the most? Immediately does not correlate knowledge, because someone that's going to watch Guardians of the Galaxy this week, they're going to love Rocket Raccoon so much, and it's going to be their favorite character, no longer Thor from the or Hulk from the Avengers. It's going to be Rocket Raccoon and Groot. But are they true fans because they like the character more than you do? And people are going to say, well, no. This is why this true fan shit is not real. It's bullshit. Everyone, just enjoy your fucking comics. Enjoy the characters. If you don't like female Thor, don't buy the book. The regular Thor will be back. Not a big deal. This is comic books. This is not the first time some big change goes around. And people are saying the fact that people are freaking out over this shows that sexism and racism still exists. Sure, it's been there the whole time. We're just seeing it highlighted.
Agreed. I think the idea of a female Thor is great. I would love to pick up the first issue where she shows up. Strong female character. Gail Simone should get behind this. Won't see her in the kitchen making pancakes.
I don't think she had much to say about it, honestly. I think she was trying to be like, this is too obvious for me to support, so I'm not going to do it.
But I think both of these moves are great. They are going to get them sales. You are going to have the people who are like, no, I don't want this. But then you're going to have the girls like me who say, I don't pick up Thor, but I would love to see what they do with this female character. Because we know Gail Simone can write ladies. I want to see if this person can write ladies.
But Kelly, you're not a true fan. It's like, okay, where do you think everyone started out? As someone like in your position that said, you know what, I can relate in some way to this character. I want to read about him. Why do we read Batman? We relate to the fact that he has no superpowers, but we want to strive to that human perfection of mind and physical ability, which is why we love the Batman so much. Plus that whole fucking history of being awesome. Punching the fucking Joker in his face. So yes, if you disagree, that's fine. We all have our opinions. You can sound off on Twitter @ReasonsI'mBroke or on Facebook, facebook.com/TheReasonsI'mBroke. I'm still going to stick to the whole thing. If you are so against some changes, even though it's the same writers, still comic books, don't buy the book.
Vote with your money.
Vote with your dollar, exactly. The sooner you don't buy the less people that buy the book, the sooner the old characters return. As for me, I welcome changes. Let's have fun with the characters, do something new, and then eventually go back, sure. But if this ends up being better, let's stick with it. Let's see what happens.
Some more Marvel news, also from San Diego Comic-Con. They have released their movie schedule so far. So there will probably be more. But this is what we have so far. First off is Avengers 2, Age of Ultron. This will release on May 1st, 2015.
Yeah, I do want to repeat that this is recorded on Saturday night. It could be that they reveal the full schedule tomorrow. But they did show off the connected posters. Little by little, they revealed one poster of like a character highlighted as they fight Ultron.
Yep, this was really cool. You get to see all the characters. 3 new people that are big. We have Quicksilver, the Scarlet Witch, and
Vision.
Marvel Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, those were the 3 characters revealed. We knew about the first 2. We sort of knew that Vision was on his way, but now they actually showed him. He's off in the distance, flying. Looks exactly like the comic book Vision.
I thought you were going to say look exactly like Martian Manhunter. I was like, good for them. Where's Batman? Can we...
When they were still showing off like the last couple posters, people were like, oh, who's going to be the final character? I bet you it's this and this person. And I was like, what if it was Batman? Like, they're like, and
Kick
then we
ass.
reveal Batman. He's fighting Ultron for the Avengers, and he's fought them before in some way.
Kick ass.
The second movie that they showed, that they announced at Comic-Con, showed off a couple more things, announced the villain. It was Ant-Man, which is set to release on July 17, 2015.
We also have Captain America 3, set for release on May 6th, 2016.
And finally, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, set to release July 28th, 2016.
I would say they should wait to see what the sales are before they schedule a second one, but we all know they're going to be good.
They're going to make a lot of money. Yeah, absolutely. There's already a Guardians of the Galaxy cartoon that got announced as well.
Wow.
They wasted no time. That's the way Marvel and Disney work.
It's because they picked that damn catchy song. It's still stuck in my head.
I don't know which song you're talking about.
You don't know the Stuck on a Feeling or whatever? They
It's
play it for every trailer.
See, that's the
And
thing.
it's
I've only seen the trailer like twice.
I've only seen it twice too, and it's still stuck in my head. Every time they say Guardians of the Galaxy, that stupid song gets stuck in my head, and then I think about the guy like doing his little middle finger cartwheely thing, and I really want to try that on somebody.
You're very impressionable.
I guess I am. I'm like a little kid. I'm like, cool. I want to stick up my
Don't do
little
it, Kelly.
finger.
No, don't do that.
I do what I want. I'm a big kid now.
Uh,
Star-Lord did it, so I can do it too. He's a hero.
I would say out of all these movies, the one I'm most excited for, I didn't much care about Avengers 1. Mm-hmm. Guardians of the Galaxy, I haven't seen it yet, but I didn't read any of the comics, so I don't really have interest in these guys. Captain America 3. Mm-hmm. The first 2 are probably my 2 favorite Marvel movies, not including X-Men First Class. Mm-hmm. Starting with Captain America First Avenger, followed by The Winter Soldier as my second favorite of the Marvel Avengers universe. So Captain America 3, which is on the same day as Batman vs. Superman still. They haven't moved it. Neither side has budged. I still think one of them will, because they'd be eating each other's sales at that point.
Mm-hmm. Cap 3's just going to have to wait if they come out on the same day.
Oh, yeah. Everyone wants to see Batman fight Superman.
And Wonder Woman's in there now, too?
Even the Marvel fans.
Yes.
Yeah. It still reminds me of that guy that came into the comic book shop I work at, and he was passing by the DC wall, and he's like, yeah, fuck DC, it's all Marvel all the way, except for Batman. I wish Batman were Marvel. Like, he just had this...
Did he, like, come a little bit? When
he sounded so yearning. Like, there was this yearning in his voice. Like, every Marvel fan deep down was like, oh, except for Batman.
Because Batman's amazing.
He is awesome.
I wish Batman were DC and Marvel, because then we'd read more books.
Marvel books. What about you? Were you excited for any of these?
I guess Cap 3. I don't know a lot about Ant-Man. I'm guessing he turns into an ant.
Yeah, the size of an ant, can control ants.
And also, he's like the Atom.
Yeah, and in the Ultimates, he gets really big as well.
So the Atom. Okay, I'm excited for them. We'll see. I mean, every movie always has potential. Are they ever going to bring it to its potential? I haven't really seen Marvel do that, except for X-Men First Class. And then they screwed it up with the next one.
Well, even that was Fox. So
Oh, that's true.
wasn't exactly like Marvel Studios is the new company they formed for all of that. But, I like the first two Cap movies, so we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Before we move into some more Comic-Con news, we did have Batman Day this last Wednesday.
Yes.
That was on July 23rd, 2014.
Just in time for my birthday.
You worked on that day, right?
I did, and I said Happy Batman Day to everyone. They're like, it is Batman Day. I'm like, I fucking know it's Batman Day. And people are like, why does Batman need his own day? I'm like, why wouldn't Batman need his own day?
I told customers, like, every day is Batman Day, but today you get free shit for it. And then I was fired for cursing at them. But for Batman Day, different shops got different things because the one I work at, we only got the masks, the Batman mask. There was the 4. There was the Dark Knight Returns, Frank Miller mask, the Greg Capullo New 52 one, the Adam West mask, and finally the Bill Finger Original Detective 27 mask with the super long ears and all that. So we did have those, but other shops we didn't get them. Got the capes and the Detective Comics 27 Special Edition, which is the first time, if I remember correctly, that Bill Finger's name is on the cover of a Batman book.
Aw, good.
As a cover credit, which is awesome. I really wanted to get a copy of that, but we didn't get any. And we had a lot of customers coming in asking for that book, and they said that the local comic shops also didn't get any of the capes or the comic. So I guess it's hard to find, unfortunately. But, we got the masks, and they look really cool. We posted up Twitter pictures and Facebook.
I still haven't tried on my mask because I worked all day. Stupid work.
Which is your favorite mask of the 4?
The Greg Capullo, because that's my Batman.
Oh, mine's the animated series Batman,
Well, I mean,
but that's cool that yours
that's
is
my
that
Batman
one.
too. Just out of those 4, that's my Batman.
I like the Frank Miller one a lot. And also the Bill Finger one. Those are probably my 2 favorites.
They're really cool. It's great that they give Batman his own day and that they actually gave out stuff for it. Because they didn't have to do that. They could just be like, it's Batman Day. But no, go to your comic shop. Here's free shit.
Yeah, it was great. A lot of people came with their Batman shirts and had a great time, had a fun time, picked up stuff from the shop, and got the free masks.
Would have if I could have.
There was one guy that dressed up as Deadpool, and he had like a tuxedo on over the Deadpool costume, and he had a sign that said, "I'm not Bruce Wayne. I am not Batman."
That's pretty cool. See, I honored Batman with my Batman tattoo. I just honor him every day. If you guys did anything special for Batman Day, let us know on Twitter @ReasonsI'mBroke. If you got a cool mask or a cape, post it up and let us see it too. And then mail it to us.
Some more Batman news. This one relates to Batman the Animated Series.
Yes.
Love this company, Mondo. They came out with these great posters that they don't actually produce. They made one specifically for Mask of the Phantasm, all original art, limited run on these posters. But now they're doing something even better.
They are releasing a Batman the Animated Series 7-inch soundtrack vinyls. So dig out your grandma's old record player and buy all of these. And then mail them to us also.
Has the original soundtrack from Batman the Animated Series. Iconic music. The show wouldn't be what it is without that. And they made 4 versions of it for purchase. And they each come with their own like special signature art, so that you're pretty much forced to buy all 4 because they're all amazing.
Of course.
The first one is Clayface, and it has. If you actually take a look at the vinyl record, there's like a pattern on it where the way that they made the vinyl, I think it's a plastic, right, for the vinyl. There's like a browner plastic in the middle, so it actually kind of looks like Clayface is the vinyl or inside the vinyl.
Cool.
It's amazing. I love it.
We also have Man-Bat. Awesome. Man-Bat needs more recognition, so throw him on a vinyl.
His vinyl is the only one that opens. So when you like open it and his wings expand. It's awesome. The Joker vinyl has his face on the television, and when you look at the vinyl, it's actually like a bomb.
That's awesome.
Pretty neat.
My favorite, the Harley Quinn. The art for this is amazing. Tattoo that on my body also.
What I like about this art for the Harley Quinn one, if you haven't seen it, I'm going to post it on Twitter this week. All around her are different record players and different posters, and they're actually stills from the title cards from the show.
Oh, awesome.
I thought that was a really nice touch. And the final one is Mr. Freeze. It has the Heart of Ice look to it, so it's got the different snow flakes coming down on it. And the record player has the snowflake pattern on the vinyl.
Should have been Nora on the vinyl.
That would have been awesome, yeah.
Amazing. Definitely going to have to buy all of them.
They had them on hand at San Diego Comic-Con. That's kind of how they announced them, but they will be out later on this year. Very limited run. I don't know how we're gonna have to be like online right when they announce them.
What's
and
the
have
price
them
point on them?
They haven't said the price point yet. So whatever it ends up being.
Let's see. There's 5 of them.
What can they get away with? What's the most that you would pay?
For one, if I were just buying one, I would pay $50.
$50 per vinyl? Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I'm only buying one at $50. Shit, man, I'm broke.
And with that, we can move on to some Harley Quinn news. 2 pieces of news. The first one being a single issue called the Harley Quinn Centacular. That one is set to release in October.
This is amazing. It is a scratch and sniff comic book. Awesome.
If they can get away with doing that on any of them, it's going to be Harley Quinn.
Oh yeah, they could. Is Jimmy writing it again?
Yep, Jimmy and Amanda.
Awesome. They can totally play that up and make it amazing. And they're going to have some disgusting scents in there. There will just be like old feet or something gross.
Oh yeah. Jimmy said that it's a scratch and sniff book, and Amanda quickly corrected him and said it's actually a rub and sniff. If you scratch it, you'll actually damage the comic.
Good for Amanda. They have also announced a beautiful Harley Quinn and Joker statue. This is based off the design by Alex Ross, and it's sculpted by Tim Bruckner.
Everyone's seen that Alex Ross drawing. Harley Quinn in front of the Joker. Joker looks a lot like Jack Nicholson. I'm assuming he used Jack Nicholson as reference for that. And Harley in her classic outfit. Beautiful book. It was reprinted. Beautiful cover, I should say. It was reprinted in the Harley Quinn Essentials volume. It was like $10. Came out a couple of months ago. Well, they've made an actual statue of it. It's 12 inches tall.
Beautiful.
It's going to cost $250 though.
Goodbye, statue.
when I was at work when they showed it, I was going through Newsarama. I was like, "Oh, damn it!" And they're like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "It's this Harley Quinn statue they showed." And they're like, "So what? That's $250 that are now it's gone from my bank account. Like, there's no question about well, you don't have to buy it. No, it's just that money's gone now, and I'm gonna be getting a statue later this year."
Guys, we got married. We could use some gifts. That's what you got to do.
I was just upset by
Hit up
this.
everybody you know. That is the truth. It is a beautiful statue. By the way, ladies, just throwing this out here because I'm a nice citizen. That picture they have printed on a shirt at Spencer's. Couldn't find it in the store, but you can find it online. It was only like $20. So if you really like that Alex Ross picture, buy it on a shirt. Support Harley Quinn.
She definitely needs your support.
Hot Topic just released a bunch of Harley Quinn stuff too, and a bunch of Batman stuff.
As well they should. That shit will move. Anything Harley will sell.
Harley socks, and Harley shirts, and Harley wallet. I almost bought the wallet. I almost spent too much money in that store.
I've got a Harley wallet.
Which is the Alex Ross.
It is. It's the Alex Ross one, yep.
Awesome.
Comixology also came out with some news on the first day of San Diego Comic-Con. With participating retailers, Comixology will provide full comic downloads.
Awesome. What this means is you guys will get a PDF version of the comics that you buy. So you don't have to go to Comixology to pull up the comic and read it. You can read it straight from your computer.
People have been asking for this for a long time now. They're finally doing it. I'm sure they have to write up some kind of contract with the different participating publishers. The only problem with this is they have to say yes. Like, so far I've looked at my downloads list. So the books that you can download, no Marvel or DC yet. It's all independent. So little by little, maybe they'll eventually come out or allow some of their books to be fully downloaded. But so far, it's just going to be the smaller independent companies.
I think eventually you'll be able to get all of them.
Yeah, it should move that way, but we'll see. It's a step in the right direction, I think.
On to some DC TV news. Arsenal costume from the TV show Arrow has been revealed.
It looks really cool. Really cool. We're not watching Arrow. We've seen a couple of episodes. We saw the Flash pilot, which had Arrow featured in it.
Being silly.
Yeah, he was silly. But the Arsenal costume looks amazing. I like it more than the Arrow costume. You can see
Agreed.
more like details on the outfit in red, and it looks better that way too. It almost seems like they took some of the things that they could have done with the Arrow costume and said, you know what, well, we could have done this, but let's go ahead and apply it to the Arsenal outfit. Some things that we wanted to do. And you can see that. It's very similar, but different in its own way.
Also, exciting news for me, because this is exactly what I wanted to happen. DC Entertainment Chief Creative Officer Jeff Johns has confirmed that the TV DC shows and the DC movies will not be crossing over.
Yeah, Jeff Johns, of course, the big writer on Green Lantern for a long time, he said, quote, "It's a separate universe. We will not be integrating the film and television universes."
Thank you. So happy. We don't have to see Arrow in Batman vs. Superman. Great.
To be fair, that would have gotten a lot of viewers on there.
It probably would have, but I feel like he said they're separate universes. There's an entirely different feel between the movies and the TV shows. Man of Steel did not feel at all like Smallville.
Agreed.
Two very different things. Mixing them, while it would have gotten them views, I think would have been difficult. And it just, trying to mix the two feels of the two, just wouldn't have worked.
Plus now they can have a completely different Flash for the Justice League movie with a more comic book costume instead of like the more realistic one that they went with for the show, which we still liked, but it's the movies are going to be more like the books.
Yes.
Which isn't a good or a bad thing, but it's nice to see them like actually come from the pages and into the big screen.
Jeff Johns did say that he would like to see Shazam make it to the big screen next.
Which it's funny that he would say that because he actually worked on a script for the Shazam movie back in like 2009.
That's awesome. I'm very excited. We'll get to the comics later and we'll talk more about Shazam, but I'm getting more and more excited for this character to have his own movie.
Yes, me too. And speaking of the movies, we did get a bunch of news, a bunch of screenshots, and a short little teaser. We're going to start off with Ben Affleck in the Batman costume, close-up color shot.
Awesome.
That was the very first thing that was revealed.
Awesome. I always supported him from the beginning. Don't even... No.
I am going to say that now everyone is saying what you just said. Whereas I stood not by Ben Affleck. I said, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. I said that from the beginning.
He did go back and pull up the podcast and show me.
That, yeah, you were against it initially. You were 99% of the internet.
Note to everyone, if you record things, make sure you remember what you recorded. Because people will go back and remind you of what you actually said.
And I still remember back then they said, and I said it on the podcast, they could have cast Batman himself and people would have still been unhappy.
Oh, yeah.
So now that we have Batman on the big screen, the costume looks amazing. They nailed the look of the Batman. Exactly like The Dark Knight Rises, exactly like The Dark Knight Returns, straight out of the comic book. They had the costume on display at San Diego Comic-Con. Unlike the picture, which it kind of makes it look like a black outfit or a dark gray, it's actually the bat is in black and the outfit itself is a very light gray, just like in the comic.
Awesome.
So now, like you said, people are completely flipping on this now. They're like, I like Ben Affleck as Batman. It's like, I said this would happen. I said this exactly would happen.
You did.
Because I said I did the same shit when Mark Hamill or Heath Ledger was cast as a Joker. I was against it, and I learned my lesson.
Yep. We also had Wonder Woman revealed during the Warner Brothers panel. We got to see a poster of her in her full costume. Looks amazing. I was very, very pleased with what they did with her character. I don't think she looks too skinny like everybody was saying. She beefed up pretty well. Been eating her spinach. Good for her.
Trained with Batman.
I guess.
Yeah, I love the costume as well. One thing that people are pointing out, two things. The second one is silly and I want to hold on to that one. First one being that they're saying it's not colorful enough. That's understandable. It does look kind of like a dull red or a dull gold as well, but it is one shot. And if you look at the rest of the background, everything else is kind of muted. So it could just be the filter, the Photoshopping they did. Let's wait for some more pictures to come out.
One thing I wanted to point out though, and I wouldn't blame them, I would actually be appreciative if they did this. I feel that Wonder Woman's costume in a real life setting would be made out of leather. It's difficult to get bright colors on leather. Usually when you see something in leather, it's dark reds or dark browns or, something like that. So if that's what they made her costume out of, then that's very realistic that that's the colors that would come out.
But as far as the design, it looks perfect. Like, it's amazing. It's like the new 52 costume. It doesn't look silly. It doesn't have the pants, which is what people really didn't want. And it looks great next to the Batman and Superman outfits that they made for this movie. I'm really excited. Now, the funny comments I've seen, like, aside from them being like, she's still too skinny, blah, blah, blah. The other one, people that had nothing bad to say about the costume talked about Gal Gadot's hair.
Really?
Yeah, they said her hair did not have enough volume.
She's probably sweating.
And that Wonder Woman should always have nice hair.
No, she's a warrior. Like, women are not going to relate to somebody who looks perfect on the screen all the time.
Even women are saying that, though. Like, both men and women are saying, like, the
out
hair
of their
needs
minds.
to be...
No, this is awesome. I am so happy that they made her look rugged and like a real woman, and she looks dirty and like she's been sweating and fighting, because that's... Well, I still wouldn't look that good if I were sweaty and fighting. But that's more like what a woman would look like. And men need to understand, women do not relate to other perfect women. We don't, because we don't look that way. We don't ever look perfect. And so I think it's great that they made her look that way, because now I look at that and I go, yeah, I want to fight and look like that, because she's dirty and she's nasty, but she makes it look good.
That just goes to show that that's what they had to, like, criticize about this, the hair. That's how you know they nailed the costume.
Yep. Did Gail Simone design her look? Because she looks like a strong female character.
She did say she liked the costume, though. She said it's not perfect, but that it looks good. Someone actually went through with Photoshop and, like, brightened up the colors a little bit, and I'm like, that looks really cool, too. Like, it probably does look better with slightly brighter colors.
It could just be the filter,
but it is
though.
I think it's just the filter, because even if you look at her, everything looks really, really off color. So let's go ahead and wait a little bit. This is the most exciting part of this announcement, though, is Zack Snyder was saying, look, I just flew out from filming. We were filming yesterday, and I got on a plane, I came here, and here's the Trinity. Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman. Usually when you come to these things, you bring like a trailer or something, and we're still filming, so we don't have that. Oh wait, there is this little something. And then they played a short clip. And the pictures are now online. By the time the podcast goes up, maybe even the clip went up online. Who knows? But as of recording this, if you go to newsarama.com, they have some of the stills. And just to describe exactly what happened, and then we'll talk about it here. The little teaser, if you want to read it.
It's raining, and Batman is in an armored suit. He turns on the bat signal. It looks straight out of a Frank Miller drawing. The bat signal illuminates Superman hovering over him in the sky. His eyes start to glow red. And they zoom in on Batman staring him down. Huge applause.
That's pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at the stills, the first one being, it's Batman next to the bat signal illuminated. The bat signal has the Batman that is on his chest as well, which is the Frank Miller Batman.
The fat Batman.
More importantly, his eyes are glowing white. The Batman's outfit has the white eyes on it. Which the only other time that's been done was in, well, technically, I guess in Batman Forever when he put on that stupid, like, the aiming thing.
Batman what?
But in The Dark Knight, also, he had the white eyes. But here it is exactly like the comic book. You look at the second still, it shows a shot right behind Batman and the bat signal of the signal lit up, and there it is, the silhouette of Superman off in the distance, right where the bat signal turned on. Next screenshot, which is the third one, a close-up of Batman, and this is what's interesting about this whole thing. That outfit that he has on, that is the same armored outfit from The Dark Knight Returns. That is the outfit that he used to fight Superman, to beat Superman in the comic book.
He's so excited. You guys can't see him, but he's like shaking with joy.
It is exactly like it. I'm like, it's not a good or a bad thing ever where it has to be like the comic. Like, I don't give a shit. As long as the movie's good, Batman could be in a pink cape and cowl. I don't care.
With the tutu.
If the story's awesome, that's all that matters. But this is so cool to see. Just to see the actual outfit. Who would have ever guessed? Just like we never would have guessed that Ray Shantali would ever be in a movie one day, or that we see this outfit from The Dark Knight Returns on the big screen. There he is, like bulky Batman with the eyes, right there, live action movie. Look at that. What do you think? How cool is it?
It is amazing. And the final screenshot we see is Superman staring him down with his eyes glowing red. I say it's because of love.
He's using his X-ray vision, like, who is this?
But he can't see through him because it's probably made out of lead.
So he's mad, so that's when he fires the things, like, let me see!
Take off your clothes! Like, Superman wouldn't really shoot him. It's just a warning. He's like when a cat puffs up. That's all Superman's doing right there.
I love all this news right now. Granted, the movie's not out yet, and I did not expect there to be any footage at all at Comic-Con because the movie's still 2 years out.
Yeah.
But we got it. We got a little teaser.
Amazing. Our last bit of DC movie news. In an interview with Total Film, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson answered with, "Just say the word," when asked who he was playing in a future DC movie.
Who is that?
Shazam.
Shazam. Okay, so let's remember, she does not like this casting. Let's remember for like episode 170 something, when the movie comes out and Shazam ends up being cool.
I'm still crying. Just let me cry a little bit. And then I'll say, we'll wait and see. I don't know.
You're not buying it? I think Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson can pull off a child stuck in an adult's body. He's done a couple of movies already like this.
Okay, if he can do that, then fine.
Are you worried about the look of the guy?
They'll probably make him look okay.
And Dwayne, he was trolling because on Twitter he put up a picture of Superman and Shazam fighting Black Adam, and he said someone's about to get it, and that was like his clue to who he was going to play. So now people are like, wait, so he might be Black Adam actually, which is who they wanted because he kind of sort of looks more like Black Adam than Shazam. But I think he's still going to be Shazam. I think that's just him being like, take this, guys. I'm not going to confirm.
Probably. But now you got to find a kid who looks like him.
No, because he doesn't turn into like an adult version of him. He turns into Shazam. From what I remember, yeah, it's not.
Yeah, okay, I gotcha.
So as long as they nail down Billy, then I think it should be fine.
As long as Dwayne is trying to buy beer and stuff.
Yeah, like in the comic book.
I'd be okay with that.
I hope they use the white hood like in the New 52. Mm-hmm. I love that outfit. And I can't wait to see him in the Justice League movie.
Agreed.
Finally, before we move into comics, we did talk about our sponsor, which is Hero Crate. Hero Crate, unlike the other subscription services, this one is actually... and the other ones, you just get a box of stuff. You never know what it really is or what the theme is even. But for people like us, we're like, okay, well, we don't want to just get like a Game of Thrones thing. We don't really watch that. But then like a little Batman thing. Okay, that's cool. We like that. And then like a BioShock something. We're like, well, we're not really into that. Like random box of stuff. Not with Hero Crate. Hero Crate will focus on the superhero fans. Just like the name, they will send you a box of heroic items. It's $50 worth of value, but for less than that. Mm-hmm. Every single crate is guaranteed to have a t-shirt with the theme of the box that you're receiving.
Awesome. Is there a Batman box like every month?
Who knows which box we're getting, but we are getting a box from Hero Crate, and we will be doing an unboxing video to show all the brokettes out there exactly what kind of stuff you can get in your Hero Crate box. If you want to sign up and you just can't wait for that unboxing, head on over to HeroCrate.com. Very proud partners of ours. All of Nerd Up Media, they sponsor the rest of the other shows as well. And they're awesome on Twitter too. They're very happy to retweet little projects that are coming up. They're not just about their business, they're about the fans. They call it the Hero Crate community. And we're very happy to help them out with that as well. Hey, you're running this contest to give away stuff. Everyone, check this out. We're not going to enter this. Like, we want you guys to win. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure you guys have seen that on our Twitter at Reasons I'm Broke, or at The Read Pile, at Those Two Jerks, at Lazy Gaming Guys. All of our little crew here at Nerd Up Media, we're definitely there to help them out too. Because again, they are there for the fans as well as for their customers.
So excited. Can't wait. We should be getting it in the next few weeks. And then we'll definitely let you guys know when it goes up on YouTube.
So once again, our sponsors, thank you very much. This episode has been brought to you by HeroCrate.com.
And that will do it for our news this week. There was a whole lot. I'm sure there will be a whole lot more next week as we round up the San Diego Comic-Con 2014. Now we can move into our comic books for the week. For those of you who haven't listened to us before, this is all our pull list. It's indie and mainly DC. We read very little Marvel until Lady Thor comes out, and then hopefully we'll pick that up too. But we're going to start out with Bravest Warriors number 22. This one's written by Kate Leth, with art by Ian McGinty and colors by Lisa Moore. This is following where we left off in the last one, where they go on a picnic to some other place, and then Robo-Finn, that's not really his name, Robo-Chris sabotages everything because he's trying to kill off Chris so that he can be the real Chris, and we see weird little buggy things, and they've kidnapped Chris and made him their Princess Leia slave.
Yeah, Robo-Chris is the creepiest fucking thing I've seen in comics in a long time. And he continues to be in this issue and continues to scare me. So Bravest Warriors wins Scariest Comic of the Year. the Danielsner Award.
The Danielsner.
It was a good issue. I'm liking this arc more than the last one. Because it focuses more on itself instead of having it be a part of the YouTube show, so they have to connect some things to that.
Right.
I'm really liking Bravest Warriors way more with this issue, which is number 22.
I loved Catbug. He was off talking to some little buggy again.
Great lines for Catbug, yeah.
You remember him? He was talking to his little spider. I'm like, Catbug, you're supposed to be doing stuff. Like, they're fighting things, and you're just talking to this spider.
Catbug is a slacker.
Catbug's always a slacker. Even when he was a pirate, he was probably a slacker.
With all his homeless people.
Oh, it was great.
Not my pick of the week, not my pass of the week, but still a great book. Surely your pick of the week.
Why do
Saga,
you know me so well? It's
number
like,
21.
Like we're married or something. Yes, Saga number 21. Written by our wonderful Eisner Award winners, Brian K. Vaughan, and art by Fiona Staples. Yes, my pick of the week. It was close this week.
Was it close? Was it really close?
It was really close. I thought about going against my morals and picking something else, but I knew I just couldn't let this book down because I had to look at the whole picture. I looked at that entire competition. I'm sorry, we just finished MasterChef too. I'm channeling Chef Ramsay. But I looked at the entire run, this compared to my other book that was almost my pick of the week. That is probably your pick of the week.
Most likely.
And this one continues to build upon itself. As I mentioned earlier in the podcast, there is no book of this that I've read where I said the last one was better. I always want more. They always start off great. They always end off great. You have great little notes from Hazel, who's still a baby, but she's talking about, her life when she's older.
Even with all the alien characters in this is such a human book. Like, it so explores the personality and the relationships with all of the characters in a way that we can all relate with them. We may not be in the same situation as them, but we can absolutely understand where each character is, even if we don't agree with what they're doing. Such a great book. Great series.
Great thing I like about this series, too, is there are so many characters all over the place. Every book, I feel like we introduce somebody new, and I never feel like there's too many. When we come back to them 6 months later, I still remember who they are because everyone is so unique, and their designs are so perfect. You know exactly who they're talking about. You remember everything that had happened to them up to this point. And that's something you don't see in a lot of books.
More importantly, their stories are interesting. They keep us very hooked, even though they're the bad guys or whatever. We still want to know more about them, and we want to know where they're going in the story, because we know they're going to eventually come up to our heroes, and even though the heroes are fucking up their own lives, they're going to come by and either unite them in some way or actually destroy one or two of them. Not my pick of the week, but a really good book.
Should have been your pick of the week. It was a very good book.
Next is Super Secret Crisis War, Johnny Bravo #1. This is a one-shot. We got two writers on this one, Eric Burnham and Louise Simonson, with art by Erica Henderson and Derek Charm.
Very funny. Very much captured the feel of the Johnny Bravo show. This is a tie-in to the Super Secret War. Was it last month we read it? Where all the villains from all these different TV shows are kidnapping these superheroes. And then these robots totally did not spill coffee on the tracker or the teleport system, and now they're getting teleported into other worlds.
Right, one of which is the Johnny Bravo world. Just like the cartoon, he's just trying to pick up women and failing at it. First looking at this book, I thought it was going to be like he tries to pick up a robot, and it happens to be the robot that actually likes him, and they end up happy together. It ends up being something even better. The story is hilarious. This book makes me want there to be a Johnny Bravo ongoing. That's how much I like this issue.
That's awesome. It was a very good issue. Very funny. I look at Johnny Bravo and I think, really, you're never going to get a lady like that. And I don't think he ever did in the show either.
My only complaint about this one is the backup story. It's going to connect all the issues together with the one-shots, but that's probably why this book is $3.99 as opposed to where if they just kept the Johnny story, it could have been $2.99. But for the extra dollar, you get this backup story of the villains and how they're continuing to cross over with one another and into different worlds. To read the next one, you do have to pick up The Grim Adventures of Jim and Billy and Mandy, and you have to pick up Foster's, and you have to pick up Cow and Chicken. It's just one of those, I don't like when they do that.
Right.
Thankfully, the story wasn't like that backup story. I wasn't like, oh, I must read more. But it's just, I guess, an excuse to keep it at the extra $1 and kind of give you more pages.
I guess.
Those last 2 pages could have been more Johnny Bravo.
Mm-hmm. Next we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, number 2. This one's written by Eric Burnham, with art by Charles Paul Wilson, and colors by Jeremy Moeller. I really enjoyed this one. Turtles end up in ancient Japan with samurais and meet some pretty interesting characters.
Yeah, we do come across, if you remember, this is a story of reincarnation. It's not like in the movies from the 80s where Splinter was a rat that watched his master and kind of learned from him.
That was pretty badass, though.
Pretty awesome. We see the rat like doing karate moves and
yes, shit. That's the scene I remember most from that movie.
I love it. But for this one, it's again a story of reincarnation. So we see the past version of Splinter and Shredder, and the Turtles come into contact with them and realize that they can affect time and actually save Splinter from the fate that ends up coming to them as well as to their master. Mm-hmm. And it kind of brings you that moral dilemma of should they actually affect their time or should they let things happen how it did. Really good story. I love the interaction between all the characters, especially Leonardo, because he's the one that has to make this choice.
Right.
And Raphael being the hothead, you'd expect him to be the one that's actually fighting.
I was surprised that Leonardo made the decisions that he did. I loved Mikey in this because he's the only one who can speak Japanese.
Yeah.
So he's great. Don't know why he's the only one who can speak Japanese, but I'll go with it. He's my favorite.
And the third issue is going to have Turtles and Pirates.
Pirates! I'm so excited. I'm like totally into pirates again. Thank you, Anne Bonny, aka Kelli as a pirate. Still working on my Anne Bonny costume.
You want to thank Tim Yates for tweeting you.
Thank you so much, Tim Yates. He did tell me that I would be very excited for the next issue after hearing my review. And I have gotten confirmation that it's me as a pirate.
He did say that.
Yes.
Was it him or was it...
It was Tom.
It was Thomas, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did confirm that Anne Bonny is me as a pirate, so now I'm just telling everyone, hey, I'm a pirate.
Hey, check out this book. It's me as a pirate.
Pretty much. So I am working on my costume. When I get that together, then there will be lots of pictures.
Anne Bonny herself.
Yeah.
At MegaCon.
Running around, doing shit. I'll probably, stab some people or something, because I'm a pirate. I can do that.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Why are you surprised?
Pillage,
I'm a pirate.
plunder, and take your money.
So the Turtles as pirates, I wanted to tell you about it and then show you the page, and it's like the Somalian pirates with the guns. It's like, what, Kelly? These are real pirates. This is what they're actually like.
Those aren't pirates. Absolutely not. I don't know what you're talking about.
Next, we can move into our DC books. This is my pick of the week.
I knew it was. This was almost my pick of the week.
Batman number 33, yes. Written by Scott Snyder, with art by Greg Capullo and Danny Mickey, colors by FCO.
Fantastic book. Amazing. We get the conclusion of Riddler 0 Year.
Yeah, I think this lasted, I want to say 12 issues was the arc for 0 Year, and a great ride all throughout. Added so much to the Batman mythos. Here he finally, it's the conclusion, so it's Batman versus the Riddler. Batman, it's a battle of wits, but also Batman, he gives Riddler what he fucking deserves, and what I've been waiting for this whole time. More importantly, the reason why this was my pick of the week was because of the ending.
Yep, mine too.
Right near the end, without spoiling it, I do want to say that this moment between Alfred and Batman, you see what Alfred wants for Bruce, and how he understands what Batman must be for Gotham and for himself, for Bruce. Mm-hmm. And it just tells you how much Alfred is sacrificing within himself, because all he wants is Bruce to be happy, to be like his parents were. And it's heartbreaking, but at the same time, it says so much about Alfred.
Mm-hmm. I agree. That was my favorite part, and that's what almost made this my pick of the week. But I had to go with the Eisner Award winner.
This book made me tear up. I did not want to tear up at all during Saga.
Well, you know what?
That's how good this book was.
You know what? It was. It was a very good book. Very good conclusion to the arc. That ending was amazing. If
you need to be convinced more that colorists need their cover credit, go through this book. Mm-hmm. The colors are fucking phenomenal.
The last 3 books have been amazing.
He also did the Court of Owls stuff. Mm-hmm. Just any of this stuff from the Batman run. Even look at the cover.
Yep.
He uses these colors in ways that you never would have imagined. Mm-hmm. So good on FCO. My pick of the week, Batman number 33.
Next we have Batman and Robin number 33. This one's written by Peter J. Tomasi, with art by Pat Gleason and Mick Gray, and colors by John Caleese.
This was almost my pick of the week.
This was a very good one too. Batman, you're such a badass. Such a badass.
If you read Robin Rises, you know that Batman is trying to get to Apocalypse to try to get Damian's body back. They want Damian's body because there's a special crystal in there that will actually help them out. So it's not necessarily about wanting Batman's son. It's about this crystal that's inside the coffin.
It's remnants of the same electrical pattern as the crystal is somehow inside Damian or something. The Chaos Crystal. The one from Batman and Superman. Mm-hmm. Superman Loves Batman. That caused all the craziness and Darkseid was trying to get it and et cetera, et cetera.
Right. So for this one, it's Batman he's yelling at the Justice League for stopping him from going into Apocalypse. He says, I need to get there to get my son. And Aquaman says, Batman, you're making an emotional decision. Like if you were in our shoes, you'd be trying to stop us from doing that. And Batman tells Aquaman, if Mara was taken into Apocalypse, would you not go into Apocalypse as well? And Aquaman's like, that's not fair. And so they're stopping him. They're not going to help him get to Apocalypse. He has a new outfit called the Hellbat, which was crafted by every single one of the main Justice League members, by the Green Lantern, by Superman in the center of the sun, like with a hammer, just pounding away at this outfit.
Making this suit for my man. Gonna wear it so he won't get in trouble.
At the very end, there's a great splash page where it shows you exactly who Batman really wants to take with him to Apocalypse. Because if it's not going to be the Justice League, it's going to be a different team. To find out who it is, you got to read Batman and Robin number 33. That's what almost made it my pick of the week, because it's such a Batman moment. Mm-hmm. But this did also have our Superman Loves Batman moment of the week, which calls for the theme song.
This was a great Superman Loves Batman moment of the week. Very, very whimsical. Can I use that word? So, Batman's pissed off at the Justice League because they wouldn't let him go. So he goes to where Talia and Damian's graves are, and he's like destroying shit because he's pissed off. And then Clark comes in with his flowy cape, and there's fireflies.
There are fireflies surrounding them in the background. It reminds me of that like Kiss the Girl scene from The Little Mermaid. And it's just Superman there to comfort Batman and try to get close to him.
Pretty sure he touches his shoulder at one point.
Yeah, because he says, I know you won't, but if you need anything, just say so. As he's like touching him.
Yes. Very, very... Couldn't support him when the Justice League was trying to stop him, but now he's there emotionally.
Which is, it's a good day for Superman.
Yeah.
Very good day for Superman.
He felt like he did something, even though he did nothing. But if you read it, you can't tell me Superman's not gay for Batman in it, because it was perfect.
Next is Batman Beyond Universe, number 12, the final part to the Justice Lords Beyond, before we move into the Mask of the Phantasm Beyond. Written by Kyle Higgins and Christos Gage, art by Tony Silas and Dexter Soy, with colors by Emilio Lopez and Veronica Gandini.
This was a great arc. From start to finish, I loved every single issue. I loved the way they cut up the book so you're switching between universes. They told the story flawlessly. I felt, even if I had no previous knowledge of the Justice Lords from the TV show, I wouldn't have felt lost reading this at all.
And I'm glad that they added this extra layer of story to Wonder Woman, because you don't know that Wonder Woman has been gone from the Batman Beyond universe. You just assume that they didn't use her in the show, but here they say, no, this is why she was gone. She was actually stuck in the Justice Lords Beyond universe.
Not even stuck. She wanted to do it with Batman. And then this universe Batman already had Catwoman, so she had to go with that Batman.
Well, no, that's not true, because she comes back and she's like, maybe there's an extra room I can stay in Wayne Manor. I'm like, yes, he's still going to get some.
She just wants to stick it in stuff.
Whatever, Wonder Woman did say, maybe it's time I get back with Man. And then that's when she asks Batman if she can stay with him at Wayne Manor. And Batman just has this big smile on his face like, yes, you can.
Superman's
sit
like...
on my dick.
Superman goes, maybe it's time I get back with Man too.
Me too, guys.
He shows up all the time, like sits between them on the couch.
So, guys, Wonder Woman, I think it's time you go.
You look a little tired. But like we said, this was great. I liked all of this. I'm excited to see where we go with Zod. That's his name. I was going to call him Jor-El, but that's not him. Where we go with Zod and Wonder Woman, I think they are going to reconcile later. I loved the part with Grayson, where he sees what his life could have been in a different universe. That was great. It was like, good little touch there, guys. The thing I think I liked most about this comic is I could see it coming straight out of the TV show. Right. I felt like it followed it so well, and it's just extra episodes for me, extra story. This could be a movie. I would love for this to be a movie. Make this a movie! Oh, so good.
Clearly, Kyle Higgins and Crystal Gage love the animated series as much, if not more, than we do. And they kicked ass with this arc.
They did.
At Comic-Con, they asked them if this is going to be the last time we see the Justice Lords. They did say they had no plans at all yet for another arc. But they said never say never. So.
Right. They're such good characters. There's so much you can do with them. And it's awesome. We get to see, I think, a really good development for Superman, too. Because we did see how he felt when they left the Justice Lords the first time. And we've come kind of almost... He views it differently now. And I think that's the right way for him to view it.
Right. Really good book. Our last Batman book for the week is going to be Batman Eternal number 16. Written by Scott Snyder and James Tynion IV. With art by Dustin Nguyen.
Thank you.
And colors by John Kalis.
Awesome book. This is a good weekly, I think. One of the best weeklies that they have. We are down in Arkham, and you've got Batwing, and you've got some weird guy.
Maxie Zeus, possibly, and Joker's daughter at one point.
She can die. That's okay.
That's the one thing about this is Batman was fooled by Joker's daughter. I'm like, no.
No.
This would not have worked.
Exactly. A lot of supernatural stuff going on here, but it's still an interesting arc. Fun to read. Batman was in it. That's all I need.
Mainly, we picked this up for Dustin Nguyen's art. What'd you think of the artwork?
Always good. Dustin Nguyen does a great job. I know a lot of people say all Dustin Nguyen's faces are squinty and look the same. I love Dustin Nguyen's art. If I could meet him and get something like a custom artwork, I would get it tattooed on myself. Like on my face, even.
Make appearances next to Dustin at cons from then on.
I would. Oh, that'd be the greatest job ever. Oh, man. I'd have to find a sugar daddy to support me.
Final book of the week.
We have Secret Origins number 4. This consists of 3 different stories. It's written by Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti, Jeff Lemire and Peter J. Tomasi. We have art by Stephanie Rue and Dennis Cohen and Ian Bertram. And finally, the colorists are Brett Smith, Marcelo Maiolo, and Dave Stewart.
My pass of the week.
Mine too. Look at that.
This book is $4.99. Gives you 3 stories. Only one of them is decent. I would say. 3 stories included are Harley Quinn, Green Arrow, and Damian.
The Harley Quinn gives you her origin. Nothing that we didn't really know before. I like the Mad Love story better. I think it did a better job of telling her story. This is just kind of to give you more background on where the Harley Quinn comic is coming from. So we get to see where she got the stuffed beaver.
Their New 52 origins. Right. I think that's probably the best part of it that I took out of that was that we know where she got the beaver from. As for the Green Arrow story, we don't really read Green Arrow.
I started and I fell asleep. Is that bad? Comics make me sleepy sometimes.
My favorite one was the Damian Wayne one. The art was really interesting. I actually really enjoyed the art. The story itself, though, it is more of the same. It's just an origin. That's all this book is. But it did a good job in recapturing all of the great moments from pre-New 52, so Grant Morrison's run, and then the New 52 stuff. So that letter that he left for Bruce, the moment in which he does die, it's all recreated on here. The moment in which Bruce and Talia get together, that's in there too.
I don't know what you're talking about. You mean when she drugged him and raped him?
Batman cannot be raped.
But that's kind of what happened.
No, Batman can't be raped.
Pretty sure.
So you're going to admit that Batman can be raped?
I'm pretty sure that she drugged him and he was not in his correct state of mind.
Anyway.
Did Catwoman have to drug him?
As
No.
far as I know.
No. And you know what's weird? Can I just point this out? It's weird. They did it, and then she, like, scooped everything out to make a baby. That's weird.
Because that way she can make, like, different clones and the perfect copy.
Weird. But
it makes sense.
she went in there and, like, turkey basted it out? I don't... Nasty.
the listeners are like, the way you're describing this is way too nasty.
She's a nasty person.
Leave their love alone.
No, it's not love. It's drugs.
It's their love.
It's drugs.
But yeah, it is our pass of the week. It's $5. Not really worth it. Nope. We picked it up for the Harley Quinn part.
Pick up Mad Love for that money.
Yeah, put those $5 towards another copy of Mad Love on trade paperback. I think it's like $24.99.
Worth it.
Worth it.
So that will actually do it for our comics this week. Just to reiterate, my pick of the week was Saga.
And mine was Batman number 33.
And both of our passes were Secret Origins.
Number 4, yep. We would like to once again thank our listeners for being patient throughout the break as we got married and for the great wishes that they sent us on Facebook as well as Twitter.
Hope you enjoyed our pictures from our nerd wedding.
Yeah, we did put up some pictures. And we'd also like to thank Hero Crate for being our sponsors this week for us and nerdupmedia.com. We're actually going to have another sponsor next week as well as Hero Crate, but we'll announce it next week. Thank you so much. We did put up a partners page on nerdupmedia.com so you can see all of our partners there. Get a sneak peek at the new convention that's coming up here in the Florida area.
Exciting.
But with that, you can find the link to all of our pages at nerdupmedia.com. Just click on The Reasons I'm Broke. You can find the link there to Twitter, which is at Reasons I'm Broke, Facebook, as well as Stitcher and iTunes.
Please leave us a rating, a comment, a review. It helps other people find us, helps get us on front pages and all that kind of fun stuff. And if you haven't checked us out on YouTube yet, head over there. We have some unboxings. Our most recent was a black and white Harley Quinn, which is a beautiful statue. And like we said, when we do get our Hero Crate in, we will put an unboxing for that up as well.
Thank you so much for listening, Brokettes, and for the reviews on Stitcher and on iTunes. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Kelly.
We'll see you next week.